4 or 5 o'clock in the morning till that thing pushed through in one day. And then he resigned, I think, a couple of days later and took a job making $2-3 million a year.
And that reform hasn't come through. It should go through, that you can't go and work for a company or at least be a lobbyist on behalf of a corporate company.
I'm sure that'll be challenged in the courts.
I'm sure it will.
But the question begs to be asked, particularly in the light of this Wisconsin protest, is the people who are promoting or supporting the governor there in his efforts to dismantle the bargaining rights of government employees.
You're extreme Republicans.
I can't see people supporting him against their own interests. Again, it's amazing. What's the motivation?
Isn't he a new governor?
He just got
elected.
elected.
He just got elected.
He's the new
But there's a non-partisan legislative fiscal bureau there came out with their report to show that they actually are $121 million. They have a balance on their books, so there's really no shortfall there. And the shortfall for the next year is because they came up with $141 million for him and his friends.
Tax breaks to the rich.
Tax breaks to those larger corporations and their
So
employment
the plot thickens.
benefits.
Well, he's claiming a $137 million deficit,
Yeah, but that's
next
phony.
year.
Yeah, right. That's what he's
a phony
claiming.
number.
And what he wants to do is increase.
And that's next year because of what these initiatives that he and his friends have created.
He wants to go into the pockets of the government employees to increase their contribution to pensions to 5.8% of their salary and double the contribution to health care to $3.3 billion a year.
Well, that was his campaign promise to his boys behind closed doors. And he's trying to keep his campaign promise, I guess. We're going to take a call, just get started a little bit. Mansong, Hotep, my brother.
Hey, Hotep, back at you, my friend.
Peace.
Hey, firstly, condolences to Eunice Wigfall and her family for the passing of her son. I thought y'all might have that information.
No, we didn't.
You know what? I got that information, and I did call her on Friday. One of my employees told me, and I know she had one son who had passed, and then she had a second son that she took off of life support.
Well, maybe she had called in.
She said that's why she had not called in, and she did talk to a young lady in my office, Sharman, and I did call Eunice. And so our prayers go out to her and her family, but she's lost 2 sons, I understand, or at least one who's off of life support, and I don't know how much.
I see. Well,
So
secondly, brothers.
Thanks for breaking that up.
Secondly, brothers, Hotep, to the guy that I early voted for mayor, Bill Doc Walls.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir. Now, I just want to ask your listeners, Brother Borges, and all of y'all, to remember El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, i.e. Malcolm X, because tomorrow represents the day that he made his ultimate sacrifice for us back in 1965. I believe it was February 21st. And
46 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we want to definitely remember Malcolm X because he taught us many things, that, for example, civil rights were domestic, human rights was international. He actually championed that whole move for human rights before Dr. King or anybody else. He also taught us about the nightmare that the USA was, not necessarily a dream. He talked about America being not being a real democracy, but disguised hypocrisy. And he talked about capitalism and all of that and how politicians hoodwink us with false promises and so forth. And he urged the need for revolution in America and in the world. And I urge people to revisit his books, audio and visual resources on this great African and American leader. And I ask all folks in Chicago, blacks in particular, to come out today to our celebration of Malcolm X. It's going to be at 11006 South Michigan on the 2nd floor. Today at 1 p.m. It's free. And we would like to definitely get a big crowd out because that brother made a sacrifice for us. And it's sponsored by Brother Salim Khalik and his Flaming Crescent Society. And, of course, gentlemen, in closing, this is the year the United Nations has declared, the progressive forces in the United Nations have declared 2011 as the International Year for People of African Descent. So these we're going to have a slew of activities this whole year all over the country and all over the African world to deal with promoting that International Year for People of African Descent. So I just wanted to put that out there.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for letting me talk, my brother.
All right.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Right on. Okay, y'all.
Have a good day.
Have a good one.
God bless you. And thanks for the vote.
Yeah, Brother Mansong. We now that he's told us about some things happening, I guess it's kind of a segue into what I'm doing, just to let people know, because I've been on the air a couple of times and I forgot to mention some of the things that my law office is doing. So let's mention that right now before I forget to plug myself. We are having a financial survival seminar, or revival as we call it, on this Thursday, February 24th. So law offices of Ernesto Borges and Bill Busters. It's going to be at the Rock of Ages Baptist Church, which is out in Maywood, where you have Pastor Marvin Wiley, who's just quite a preacher, quite a inspirational. He's just an amazing person that I met with for a number of hours one day, and I was thoroughly impressed by him. But he has opened up the doors of the church to allow us to come in at 6 o'clock on Thursday. For those of you out in the Maywood or near that area, please come out. It's from 6 to 9. We've got an expert panel of speakers speaking of debt relief, Chapter 7, Chapter 13, saving your home from through foreclosure defense, credit repair, loan modifications. We got Curtis Mundy coming out to speak on. He's speaking on money management. We got Lisa and Vincent Gavin to speak on credit repair and so forth, and Loretta Miner with Harris Bank, Senior Vice President at Harris Bank, is going to talk about how to get grants and free money and start your businesses and buy homes with some startup money at no cost to you. So come out. We've got Sister Pam Morris, who's going to be moderating there, and possibly Daryl King from the Kings Highway also coming out. So the address is 1309 West Madison Street in Maywood. That's the Rock of Ages Church. We need to register. The number is 312-853-0200, 312-853-0200. Register online at billbusters.com, or just call us. But we're supplying food for you, free of charge, free dinner, also a laptop giveaway. So that's this Thursday. So folks, give us a call and come on out. Let's see. Shall we take? I'm going to take one more caller, and then we're going to have a commercial break. Then we're going to come up with our special guest, William Bill Doc Walls, mayoral candidate for the city of Chicago.
In the studio.
Okay, in the studio, live, in person.
The place
All right,
to be.
let's take one more call, and then we will, let's see who's been holding along. Here we go. Joe, good morning. You're listening to the Borges Report.
Good morning to you both.
Morning. What's up,
Good
Joe?
morning, Mayor Bill Doc Walls.
Mayor.
Good morning, Joe. How are you, sir?
Oh, an old clunker doing pretty good. Who's having a crisis of my own this morning with a doggone leak. Anyway,
You're not Joe the plumber, are you?
no, I wish I were. I wish I were. I wish I was.
One of them made out like a bandit.
I wish I was Joe the Octopus.
How about that?
up,
But
Joe?
anyway, you're talking about these crises in these various states. You didn't mention Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard a news report where the retirees are no longer getting their pension for their work from the city in this small town called Pincher, I think, Alabama. And it was on the Today, not the Today Show, the one on Channel 2.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's just saying how the country itself is in trouble, and I just don't know what Chicago and other cities are going to do, because it doesn't too much matter who's going to be the mayor.
All right.
If
Well, why don't we let Bill? We can
okay,
get a
but
little
let me
comment from
also
Bill
say
as to
this.
what he would do regarding this, and then we'll let him speak briefly, and then we'll take a commercial break since you brought
Okay,
that question
very good.
up.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, actually, when you combine the states and their deficits, you have about $125 billion deficit across the United States. If the banks and the auto industry were too big to fail, I believe that the states are too big to fail. So we need a bailout so that we can stop firing people, stop cutting back on services, so that we can begin to pay people and make certain that our pensions are secure. That's important for the stability of all America. So we have to develop a philosophy that the states are too big to fail.
And so would that be a bailout by the federal government?
Bailout by the federal government. $125 billion, that's a drop in the bucket. As we indicated earlier, they spend that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So let's spend it on something that's wise to secure America.
Well, yeah, they gave more money. They gave
Trillions of dollars
to the bankers.
Yeah,
So how about the
$787
states?
billion in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, $1 trillion in the TARP Act. So we can afford $125 billion.
Right.
And it's going
To get everybody straight.
That's
Get all
right.
the states
So
straight.
when will Main Street get their payday?
Yeah, right.
When will Y'all Street get its payday?
Yeah.
That's who I'm talking about.
Y'all Street.
Y'all
Like that.
Street.
Y'all Street.
Y'all
Wall Street and
Street.
Y'all Street.
Y'all Street.
The alley. Anyway.
That's right.
All right, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. You're listening to the Borges Report with Don Rashid, Mark Wallace, our special guest, Bill Dockwall's in the studio. And we will be back we're going to do a commercial break, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Don't change the dial.
Got behind on my mortgage because my wife had surgery.
The medical bills are pouring in.
The city suspended my license for parking tickets.
They garnished my check,
I tried to work out a payment plan with the mortgage company.
but they wanted too much money.
My house was under foreclosure.
They put a boot on my car.
My utilities are being turned off. What do I tell my kids?
How do I tell my wife we're about to lose our home? I
need
need
help.
Who do I call?
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. My law firm and Bill Busters, a debt relief agency, have teamed up. Together, we've helped thousands of people save their homes and cars and wipe out debt. Debt consolidation companies can't do that for you. And payday loans just get you deeper in debt. Call me at 1-800-493-0200. Call the firm that cares. Who are you going to call?
1-800-493-0200.
Bill Buster!
More news, more conversation, more guests. Now you're listening to your parents' radio station. We are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Okay, all right, welcome back, folks. We are the Borges Report with attorney Ernesto Borges, myself, Don Rashid, Mark Wallace, and we are a timely, topical talk to us. So we want you to talk to us. Call us. Our number is 773-591-1690, 591-1690, and in studio we have our special guest, Bill Dockwall, who will be with in 1 second. First, I need to tell people, I should have told you at the top of the hour, that we are streaming live, so you can still tune in and catch us live, get Don's good side as he talks to us and his audience.
All
and,
360 degrees of my good side.
You can watch us live at the Borges Report, at Borges Report, BORGES Report, REPORT.com. That's BorgesReport.com. And you can see us live right now, so just tune in. And and that's courtesy of Alonzo Roden, who's in-house, and he comes in every morning and every Sunday morning, and he sets up his cameras and lights and everything to make us look good. And he owns a company called Windy City Web Hosting. Windy City Web Hosting. Windy City, I don't have to tell you how to spell that, webhosting.com. He offers free websites with any web hosting package. Mention WVON for a 50% discount off during Black History Month, this month here. Everybody knows Black History Month is February. So now for more information about Alonzo and Windy City Web Hosting, call 312-206-9777. That's 312-206-9777 and or visit Windy City Web Hosting. And thanks for your support, Alonzo, and we really look good. You can go back and check us out. You can go in there and you can look at the archived shows.
And I'm looking at us now.
You're looking, oh, really?
Right here.
Oh,